Hello guys, this is Gopi back with another video. In this video, we are going to discuss about delegates. Delegates are generally called as function pointer. So to be more precise, let me try to explain. Delegates, let's say you wanted to pass one function as an argument to another function. We are working with the events. How come that are all working with C#? Behind the screen, delegates is there. So delegates is a reference type. Now you have some idea about why we need a delegate, what actually it does, and we need to understand what is a delegate. Delegate is a type that represents the reference to a method signature including its return types. So once you created an object for that delegate, you can able to associate a function to the delegate. So through the delegate, you will be able to execute that function. Keep in mind, the signature of the delegate, the signature of the method must be same. If it is not same, then you will not able to work with the delegates. So that's all about the delegate introduction. Now what we are going to see is, we are going to create a new delegate and then we'll try to invoke that delegate. So the first and foremost, what I'm going to do is, I do have a class called delegates. As like any other video, I just created one class and within that I do have a main method. Now before this class, let me create a delegate. How will you create a function? So whenever you're creating a function, you must have a access modifier and then a return type, right? So for example case, I'm just taking it as void. You can keep anything else. And then you will be having a method name. Since I'm creating delegate, let me have my new delegates delegate, and then open close braces and then the brackets, curly braces. Okay, this is how your method signature should look like. Since we are creating delegate, we don't need this. Just have a semicolon here, and then this is a delegate, right? You must have to use the delegate keyword. That's all. This is how you need to create delegate in C#. Now you have a delegate which doesn't accept any parameter, which doesn't going to return any data. This is how you need to create the delegate. Now how to use this delegate, and that's how we will be using the delegate name. Let me copy the delegate name, come within the main method, creating a variable which is of type my new delegate. And what does this delegate going to contain? As I already explained, the delegate going to contain a function. So that function can be executed via delegate. So how will I able to assign a function? There are many different ways. One is, let me have a lambda expression. I can able to have a function like this. So here I will just have a console.writeLine of, within a double quotes, let's say this is from delegate method. I have a typo, let me remove that. That's it. So this is how you can assign. This is one way of assigning a function to the delegate. If you have the function, let's say example, let me try to create one more method here. Public static void. Keep in mind the structure, signature of the delegate, signature of the method must be same. If it is a different, it will not going to work. So let me have delegate method. Here let me have console.writeLine of, within this double quote, let me have some dummy content. This is from function -delegate. So now we have a function, we have a inbuilt function. What I do is, let me try to command or else duplicate this line, command, remove whatever that available after the equal to sign, and then assign this to the delegate method. Now my delegate, my new delegate got assigned with the method. Now what we need to do is, we need to invoke this method. As like general method invocation, we'll have to use this symbol. Now A is an object, A is a variable of type my new delegate. What is this? This is nothing but the delegate that I created. Now what I do is, let me save this code and click on this run button. Now you can see right in the console window, this is from function -delegate. So this print statement actually coming from this method. We have assigned this method as a value to the delegate. Now let me comment this, let me uncomment and run this line. So here you can see this is from delegate method. These are all the ways that you can create delegate and execute it. Now we create a delegate without accepting any parameter. Now what I do is, let me try to pass parameter here. So name is the parameter. Now you can see that once I added the parameter, I get error. So what the error says is delegate my new delegate does not take 0 argument. Hope you can understand this error message. This parameter, the signature is mismatched. Since the signature is mismatched, you are getting that error. So what I need to do, just have a string variable name. You can keep any name, I just follow the same naming here. Along with this method, let me have a plus sign and then name. Just give a space here. Now we are done with this. So how will you able to get the data? Let me rearrange this course. Now you created a delegate, you created an object for the delegate and assigned some method to it. Everything is fine. So who will invoke it? We are invoking that function in this place. So it become mandatory to pass the argument to the method parameter name. This time itself we can see there is an error. There is no argument given that corresponds to the required formal argument name to the delegate. So it's mandatory to pass some value here. So I have passed it. Now you can see there is no error in my code. We are done with it. Let me click on this intro button. Here you can see this is from delegate method Gopi. So with parameter, without parameter, now we have idea of how to execute delegate. Next thing is how to pass a delegate as a parameter. We haven't discussed it so far. Let's discuss that. Let me remove this line. We don't need that. We have a method here. This is going to accept a parameter. So what is a parameter? I said we are going to pass a parameter as of type delegate. So what is the delegate you have? This is the delegate. Copy this, paste it here, and then my new delegate. This will print this, and then I will be invoking the method that I'm getting it as parameter. That's it. This is how you need to pass the delegate. Now you are getting error. That's because I haven't passed any argument. So what I do is, let me remove this line. We have to invoke this delegate method, right? Let me do that here itself. And then I'll be passing this a as a parameter. Now you can see there is no error. I will be just removing this parameter. We don't need this for our example purpose. And you know how to use argument in the delegates. Just have to remove this as well. That's it. So we are done with it. You can see in the main method, I do have a delegate outside of the main method. I created one variable of type the delegate and assigned a function. Now I'm invoking one another function that present within my class, and as a parameter to that function I'm passing my delegate. So within the calling method I'm invoking the delegate. This is how we have to pass the delegate as parameter. Now let me run the program. Here you can see, right, this is from function-delegate. This is a console.writeLine statement, and then this is from the delegate method print statement. You know how to create delegate, you know how to initialize delegate, you know how to invoke the delegate, and you also know how to use delegate with a parameter, without a parameter. Also you know how to use delegate as a parameter. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to discuss about multicast delegate. What is meant by multicast delegate? We haven't discussed anything about it. Whenever a delegate can have more than one method, then we call it as a multicast delegate. Let's say example, here I have a delegate. This delegate points to only one function. Now I'm going to make this delegate going to point to different method. Then that become multicast delegate. We'll be using plus operator, minus operator to add methods and remove method from the delegate, but still that's what we call it as a multicast delegate. What I do is here, let me change this method 1. We don't need this. Let me remove this. We don't need that. Also, we don't need this method. If we required, we will be recreating it. Now, copy this, paste it here. Instead of a, let me change the object to delegate 2 and then make this as delegate 1 so that we won't get confused. Instead of method 1, let me use method 2. Now I have a two different delegate. This is one delegate and this is another delegate. Both this delegate actually points to different methods. Now let me create one more object. My new delegate, I just call it as del3 equal to, we have two delegates, right? Let me have a delegate 1 plus delegate2. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, let me try to invoke the function del3. This del3 is the variable which actually contains 2 delegates. What is the structure of the delegate? This is the structure that doesn't have any parameter. It doesn't going to return anything. It's just going to give you the print statement. That's it. Now let me try to execute this program and see how it actually works. Now you can see, right, I have a method 1, I have a method 2. I have only one delegate invocation, but still it actually executed 2 different methods. This is what we call it as multicast delegate. We also able to use generic with the delegate. That we will be discussing in our next video. Till then, bye, take care.